Hey, are you guys scared of beginning weight training and just getting started? I was too when I began, and I just finished my workout. And while I was working out, I figured I'd make this video about getting through that fear. And you guys, by the end of this video, you guys will have some tools on how to just break through that fear and just really get started. Hi, I'm Kimberly with Lift.Hike.Thrive, and just wanted to sit down today. I just decided kind of on a whim to make this video. Did you guys ever try like a 90 days to this or a 60 days to that? Like after you do this 90-day thing, you're gonna look like this and that cut body on the cover that you realize that, that's what I wanna look at. Yeah, I did that too. I did the whole 90-day thing and figured out that I can't stay that consistent because it was really hard to do 6 days a week and it just wasn't sustainable. And for the last couple years, I've just been doing a weight training program and I've been really successful with it. So that's kind of what I wanted to talk about, was how to get through those first fears if you're just starting on your own and not doing this 90-day fix. One of the biggest things to get over the fear is to just get started and have a light beginners program to follow, which I'm going to link down in the bottom. I have a free beginners template that you can start even if you have zero experience, because the key is to just get started and realize that there is just no end. You cannot start a program. And I've learned this the hard way. I know I've learned this the hard way too. You can stick something out for 60 days or 90 days or 75 days, and then you realize that it's just hard and you will not stay long term. You might do it for that 65, 70, 90 days, and then you just fall off the wagon. And so the key is to just make sure that you find something that you're able to stick with. And really, there's one formula. It's lift, rest, eat, rinse, repeat all the time. You got to lift, you got to rest, you got to fuel your body, and then that's all you do. You just keep doing it. The bottom line is you just got to keep moving. You got to keep doing it. And there's going to be days you don't feel like it. And okay, yeah, you take a couple days off, but then you get back out there and you do the next workout. And that's really all there is. And I feel like for me, when I used to watch some of these videos, you would watch the people on the screen and you realize that, okay, I'm not getting as deep into that squat, or I can't do that lunge right like they do. So then I started to feel like I'm not doing it correctly. So then I would push myself to try to do the same thing that they're doing. And then I would end up hurting myself, or I'd get frustrated because I felt like kind of a failure because I wasn't looking like they did. And I feel like that's where you have to get past that, is just start where you're at. And we all start in different places. I've kind of been lifting really steadily for about a year, year and a half, but off and on for the past 5-10 years, and being sporadic. But really for the last year, I've been pretty consistent. And I felt like a lot of people my age would start with this fear because they don't look like the person in the video. So I feel like it's really important that you don't compare yourself to what the people look like in the video, because, I'm 52 and I have a bum foot, and I'm going to show you a little bit. I have to adapt the exercises. So that's really the key, is if you can't lift a barbell, then you start with some dumbbells. If you can't lift some dumbbells, then you start with body weight. And if you can't do a full squat all the way down, then you do a squat with as far as you can. My foot pain, I cannot do, I have arthritis and tendonitis in my right foot pretty bad. So there's just certain movements I have to adapt to. And you guys all might have different adaptations for every exercise you do. So for instance, I can't do a full walking lunge because it hurts for me to push off with my foot. So I do what's called a split squat, where I have my legs in a split and I just drop down and drop up. And that's an adaptation. So a big key to overcoming that fear of getting started with weight training is just learn to adapt the exercises. And if you go on Google and you say alternative to this exercise, they give you tons of alternatives. So never be afraid to adapt any exercises that you need to adapt to make it work for you. One other thing I do to adapt my exercises because of my bum foot is, if you look here, I have to use a pole or a stick to help stabilize me when I'm doing anything in a split squat or a lunge type of position, because the top of my foot really hurts me to be in those positions. So I use a stabilizing force. You can use a table, you can use the wall, anything, but don't be afraid to do that, because again, we look at those videos, right? And they're not doing it. They're maintaining their balance. But our goal is to adapt to the point that we're still able to do the movement and gain the muscle strength, and not be afraid about adapting the movement as we see fit for our own bodies. Sometimes with alternating exercises, you'll find that if you look at this movement, I was trying to do 2-arm front raises on my shoulder, but that was really starting to hurt my shoulders a little bit. So I switched to alternating front raises, which is able to help because it gives me just a little bit of rest between each exercise. So that's a form of adaptation. Another thing that I've learned to help me stay consistent and really keep track of my progress is to write things down and keep track of things in a workbook. So if you look here, you can see where I'm keeping track of what my reps are and what my weight range is every week, so that over an 8 or 16 week period, you can see that I've either increased my reps or I've increased my weight, or both. And then that tells me that it's time for me to increase my weight, because the ultimate goal is to be as strong as possible. So it's a huge help to make sure that you're able to see improvement, because it actually improves your confidence, and you can see that even though you're making these little tiny incremental changes, it really helps your confidence, because you can see that you're making these changes and that you are getting stronger. Maybe the scale's not showing things, but you can see in your logbook that you are getting stronger and that the weight training is working. We've talked about how women are not small men, as Dr. Stacy Sims says, and it's important that we see that strength matters. Just because we're getting smaller, that's not necessarily a good thing. We got to keep up that vitality, and for longevity and for hiking and for adventures. So we want to make sure that we're getting stronger. And by keeping track on our workouts, then we can see that we're actually on the right track, right? And again, as we age, right, part of our big focus needs to be proper form so that we don't injure ourselves. So our goal is to just get a little bit better. I know we hear this all the time, and I know I've said it before, obviously 1% better each day, 365% better by the end of the year. But every workout we're trying to improve and do something a little bit better, whether it be our steps for the day. I don't know if you guys have a watch or don't that keeps track of your steps, but if you're able to do a 1/4 mile this week, then you start walking a little bit further next week and a little bit further the following week. Or if you're looking at steps on your watch, start with 2,500, work up to 3,500, then 5,000, and whatever increment works for you. Again, we're talking about an adaptation so that the exercise work for us and that we're consistent and that we feel good when we're doing the exercises. Because again, the goal is longevity, the long game. We got to stay in this and keep moving so that we are able to stay mobile and do those hiking and other adventures that we want to continue in our older years. You're going to find that your body is going to tell you things and give you cues, and you really got to listen to your body. At our age, you have to listen to your body and not compare yourself to what people look like around you. Even if it's at the gym, if it's on a video, Like you're just not going to look the same. Because like I said earlier, we all start at different places. And the key is, as we're aging, is to find where you're starting and be okay with starting there, because you got to listen to your body. You need to be in tune with your body and make sure that you're not going against what your body is trying to tell you. So you guys, just start lifting. Just start lifting, my ladies out there. It's really important that we do what we can. Start where you're at. Don't compare yourself. You can check out my beginner template down below for free. That's a basic 3-day-a-week workout that you can follow. Feel free to adapt as you wish. It's for a home program. I work out at home now. I just have a basic beginner squat rack. I don't have anything fancy, but it works for me because I can do it here at home. I don't have to go to the gym. And that's been a huge life changer for me because I like working at home. So just wanted you guys to, I wanted to pop on here after my workout because I felt like I had these thoughts in my head about making sure that you're getting out there, being consistent, don't compare yourself, keep track, and do what you can. Because again, this doesn't end. We just got to keep going. Okay, so thank you for watching till the end if you're here, and don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel so we can lift, hike, and thrive together. Thank you.